Hey Charles, Sam here. Just getting our Gumsmacker debut recording proposal going. Uh, just as an introduction, we're Sarah Lasky and the Gumsmackers. Our goals for this are to self-record a five-song EP. The record will be at the cost of me, the engineer. Now, we're using this as a real-life reference where I'm going to take up all the recording costs as an investment myself. So I won't actually be including any recording costs in the portfolio. And that's something that we can change later if need be. If you want to reflect that, we can show that. I'm trying to take a realist approach with this presentation and everything. So we'll just continue on. We're going to self-promote the album using social media. Social media is going to be a huge venue for us. We're a young band. We're starting out. We need to really get acclimated with our fan base, and we'll go through that in this presentation about what we think is going to work well for us. We want to sell 5,000 albums in a year. It's a lofty goal. I think it's attainable. We can rework the figures from there. I don't necessarily think 5,000 albums, as a total is too unattainable, but we can get advice and bounce back off of other group members and things like that, and especially your opinion. We're hopeful to reprint after the first 6 months. We're going to do an initial print of about 500, and then we'll go from there. Our model recording company and our business model that we're relying around is much like Sub Pop. Sub Pop is out of Seattle, I'm sure you know, turning community into customers. That's what we want to do with the Gumsmackers project. We want to turn our fan base into customers by using this unique business model that turns fans into partners as well as bands that we sign. Our marketing plan consists mostly of a grassroots approach. We're going to start with a small following, continue with trade advertising to gain momentum. It's going to be freebies and things like that, giveaways, downloads, anything that really catches the attention of the Facebook goer. We're all on Facebook constantly these days, and to not see Sarah Lasky and the Gumsmackers on your Facebook feed is going to be a problem. So we want our name to be ingrained. Oh, who's that Gumsmackers band? That's what we really want to go for with all of this. Innovative ideas are key, considering Gumsmackers theme. Throwing out bubblegum at shows, things like that, leaving it on the floor, trying to use that ploy. The Gumsmacker is an idea by Sarah that's really about an image of, you can see the woman on the screen there, just a gum-smacking bitch that really doesn't care about anything. It's an attitude more than someone who's just simply chewing gum. It's really what the attitude that we got to portray to people throughout this project, because I think it's off-putting right away, like, oh, Gumsmackers, bubblegum pop, but we're a rock band. We're more intense than that, and I think with the right amount of advertising and the right marketing campaign, we can really instill in people that, oh, a Gumsmacker is not someone who chews gum. It's somebody who's not caring of anything else and things like that. Social media is going to be a key in what we do. It's free, easy, widespread exposure. There are tons of different ways that we can go about using social media. Sarah's already using it now, but we just really need to pound it home. Potential for trade promotions to draw fans. Like what I discussed before, trade promotion is going to be huge for us, especially starting out. We need to figure in marketing costs because they're very low right now. You'll see in our profit and loss statement that our marketing cost is the majority of our budget, and right off the bat, it's dumped a lot into trade promotion. But that's fine because I think people are really going to want to take advantage of what we're trying to do with the Gumsmackers image, especially if it's freebies and things like that. People buy into that. We want to use the pull strategy. We want people to come to us. We want people to come to our shows and see us as a band that then they want to buy our stuff. Personal demographics, just a real basic overview of where we're going. It's the city startup demographic, college kids, things like that, low income, younger, childless, people with, not too much on their plate. They don't have a lot of commitment. They don't have to drop the kids off the babysitter to come get drunk and see us play. Like I reflect here in the presentation, mostly college students who like booze and lots of it. I think we can really get on the bandwagon that coming to a Sarah Lasky show, people are going to drink. We don't want to be the entire image is getting drunk and messed up all the time. But we need to take that into consideration, especially because of what we've seen so far. We played house shows and we played, little small events and like things like that. But we really need to capitalize on the fact that people like to dance, and they dance most openly when they're drinking. Just more of the personal demographics there. Read Spin Magazine, shop at Ragstock. It's like the picture says, the hipster culture or whatever. It's kind of evolving in the Twin Cities, and that's our main market is in the Twin Cities, real local. Sustainability. Market demographic is easy to maintain if oriented towards bar scene. I think once we get these fans and once we get these people on our side, and especially on the side of our music and what we're trying to do with it, a rock band, I think it'll be easy to maintain them, just because it's kind of a social image that goes along with it. The conversion of borrowers to buyers will need incentive, like I was talking about before. Single downloads with perks, discount promotions. The singles downloads, I think Sarah and I can churn out demos and things like that. She's working with a lot of artists in the Twin Cities that do dubstep and things like that, and those guys pump out material like it's nobody's business. I mean, they can get 2 or 3 tracks out a week and up on the web before they even know it, and Sarah's been able to capitalize on that in a very smart way. So using partnership promotion, especially with electronic musicians in the Twin Cities, could give us a potential for a wider market in the electronic scene. Try to convert those electronic dance goers to acoustic instrument rock music. The discount promotions, say for instance we have an idea that if you buy a pre-sale ticket for the show, you're going to get some discount on merchandise and things like that. It might not be that much, and it's all a working figure at this moment, but it's something to incentivize our fan base. The measurability, we have a large market potential with inclusion of image-related promotions. I'm going to work with venues and social media outlets to track our following. Google Analytics, see how many people are bumping on our webpage, see how many people are coming out, see where they're coming from, and what they're doing, as well as just a real pavement-pounding aspect to go about and talk to our fans and just see what they like, see what they don't like. We got to take the good with the bad, especially trying to branch out with what we're doing. There you see again, use Facebook to incentivize fan base and track popularity. It's easy. It's a way that a lot of bands are doing it. It's not something people are unfamiliar with. It's all working. It's in the works right now. We need to really focus on social media and having it stand out amongst other bands, and that I think we can easily attain with the Gumsmackers persona. Our accessibility, college students are always on Facebook. It's just what it is. I'm on Facebook constantly, more than I'd like to be, but Facebook kind of owns our generation, and I don't really think that's a bad thing, and to capitalize on it is easy nowadays. College students are sociable. They want to go out. They want to talk to people. They want to meet new people, and they want to meet us too. We want to make sure that they want to meet us, the band members, and Sarah especially. They want their questions answered, like, what the hell are you doing with this Gumsmackers thing? We want to tell them what it's about face to face. We want to engage them. Engaging the fan base is going to be a huge part in what we do. Nightlife crowd is seeking a good time regardless. People who show up at the venues that we're playing at are going to be there to drink anyway. Dance rock music is always good party music. If you're going to go out and listen to a band in the background, it might as well be us, because we play dance rock music, and there's nothing wrong with that. Responsiveness. Though market reach is available, conversion is tough. We need to use new technology to add revenue. Same things we've been going through. Easy to spend money equals easy to move product. One thing that we've really found that could be useful are new ideas and technology that are coming out. For instance, there's a product and there's a company called Square. It's basically just a little adapter you stick in your cell phone, and you can scan credit cards. And they take a percentage off of what you make, but really what you're gaining from that is how easy it is for people to give you money. I mean, if we go to a club and we have merchandise and things like that, or records, let's just assume that we're talking about record sales specifically. Most bands and most venues that you go to where there's a band playing, they only have their CD available for cash. They don't have a way to charge you. You know, the house system at venues, they're not going to run credit cards for you. No, it's all up to you. But with this new idea that Square is bringing to you, basically anyone's mobile device turns into a way to make income and accessible, especially for debit cards. Everyone wants to carry around the debit card, open up a tab. It's going to be super easy for someone to slap down a plastic on and buying our items. I can't think of anybody that wouldn't want to buy it if it was made 100% accessible to them. I mean, really thinking about it, if someone wants to buy our album and the only thing holding them back is, oh, I only have my card, no problem, taken care of. We looked at a lot of similar artists doing the research for this. Kimbra, especially, has used social media to influence international markets. She's an artist that's located in New Zealand and Australia. So she has really gotten popular in the United States, and it's come around, teaming up with artists such as Gote. They won a songwriting competition in New Zealand, or I think it was Australia, actually. And basically their partnership using like web-based video and Facebook and things like that just to get exposure primarily was huge for them. And she's about to release an EP, a full-length album. She released an EP, now she's going for the full-length album. And she's just blasting the web because, as you know, and as everyone knows, the web is international. People can hear our music all over the world. You know, if we're not touring there, it doesn't quite matter. Because we can build a fan base that gets us there eventually. You know, people want to stream us on Spotify. You know, should we be able to negotiate that? That's great. If we want to get on iTunes, that's not hard either. It's research in the process, or research in the works that we need to really look into. But Kimbra struck me as an artist. Not so much her musical style is congruent with what we do, but her the way she goes about promoting herself and the way that she is made public. Ellie Goulding, she uses sponsorship to indulge music with product sales, like Nike. She's got her own commercial on Nike where she's running, and I think that the ad is Ellie runs on Nike. You know, pretty basic. You know, Ellie Goulding, Nike, come to our shows. You can see the picture. If Sarah and the Gumsmackers were able to get, you know, some kind of not partnership, but promotional partnership at a show or something like that. For instance, let's say PBR. Maybe we get a sponsored show by PBR. It's small. Who knows? Maybe even let's go back farther. Let's go Phillips Vodka or something like that. They could sponsor something. You know, we can work with that. We can use sponsorship to boost our credibility in the Twin Cities and our market reach. Profit and losses. Our CD list price is going to be $10. Now, this is a 5-song album, so we're probably going to be selling it at a card price of about $5. That's pretty standard. $5 for an EP. We're not investing a full-length album at this point, at least not this point of the plan and vision for the next however many months. But I think that's okay. If you look at Ellie Goulding, what she did is, and I think with her record company, it escapes me at the moment, but they put out a lot of the same songs twice. Once on the initial EP was Ellie Goulding, This Is Ellie Goulding. 5 songs, they were her best songs, and then once that took off and she got a little exposure, they actually just remixed them and put them on her newest album, which is Lights. And I think she's coming out with another album, but that won't feature tracks around the previous. So what we're doing with this EP is setting up for a full length, which I think is a pretty smart approach, considering we don't have a very large fan base. We're starting out. We have the best intentions with what's going on, but you never know. And not investing too much money right away into a full length, because that would take recording costs. You know, I can record a 5-song EP and make it commercially available, you know, on our own with little to no money up front as far as recording costs are concerned. So we can turn that back into a full-length album, you know, or maybe this EP takes off and we want to record all new material. Who knows? It's a good starting place for us, and I think it's going to be something to look out for after the EP drops, and we'll see the life cycle and how it does and things like that. Our anticipated gross units, 5,000, might seem a little high at this point. I know some of the other groups are not shooting for that much, but with international and use of Facebook and things like that, I think we can get downloads in countries that might surprise us. And that's all something that we especially have to research and look into before we make the commitment that 5,000 is what we want. Anticipated net units, 4,500, 500 promotional units, something to send out to venues and things like that, just so they know what we're about. The manufacturing price per unit is $1.06. I got those figures from a website online. It was just kind of a one buy website that I found that happened to be the cheapest. The name escapes me at the moment. It should be documented in the paper. Advertising and promotional, and this is all in the P&L statement. Account advertising is 1,000. Trade advertising, as we discussed, is basically double that. Well, it is double that because we want to incentivize the fan base. We want to get them going. So we dump a little more money by giving out freebies and things like that. That still keeps us at a comfortable margin. Consumer advertising, $1,000. A break-even point, and this is something that I honestly can say I'm not sure I did correctly, but it's about 1,000 albums. It's like 997. You'll see it in the profit and loss statement. I calculated everything, and it seemed to be about 1,000 albums. Now looking at that, 1,000 albums to me seems completely attainable, either digitally or physically. At a show, we could knock out even 50 at a show. We keep playing shows, plus whatever we sell in stores, or depending on what distributor we want to go through, what kind of distribution deals. I think we set a distribution discount at 10%. Maybe that would get us in the door at some different distribution companies. I don't know. Is something we need to look at a little bit further. SoundScan, we have decided not to use SoundScan. It doesn't seem like it's that important for us in our Twin Cities market base. It's not something that's accessible to us. It's not something that we really want to go for. I don't know. You could have different opinions about that, and I'd love to hear them. Obviously, this is all a working point from here on out, and things that we really need help with from here on out, because this is my band's project, and we are going full steam for this. If SoundScan is something that could potentially fit into that, if we can get, or an alternative to SoundScan, just as much market research as we can past that, that would be wonderful. But at this point, I'm going to say that we're not going to use SoundScan just based on cost and availability. Just to recap, there's Sarah in the middle, and some images that we're trying to portray. We want to go for this. We want to be a high-energy band with a customer relationship fan base. We want to have relationships with our fans. And that's easy to do when you're small. And hopefully that's sustainable throughout the lifespan of Sarah Lasky and the Gumsmackers. As you are probably thinking at this point in the presentation, everything is kind of undocumented, because we need to go for this in a more market-oriented base. And to do market research, that takes time. We're basing this entire project off of the marketability of Sarah Lasky and the Gumsmackers, rather than profitability on the back end, which are all working figures at this point. We've got places to go. We've got a good starting point, and I feel pretty comfortable with what we've done so far. What I need is more input from external factors, things that we as a group cannot think of without someone else bringing it up. And we've done pretty good trying to brainstorm with how busy we've all been, but I'd like to get some input back, maybe even before Wednesday, if at all possible. If you can do like an audio recording, that would be great, just to send back to me. If not, we'll talk on Wednesday. I would definitely like to have a conference about where our group is at. I feel like we're maybe not as involved as the other groups are, but that's not to say that we won't get there. So I hope you're having a good time in New York, and we'll talk to you soon.